trying to get my mind back to the place where something can happen, I feel gratitude and like, you know, fulfillment and not have to post it.
Right.
Posting on social media and gratification from my life and my work can be separated. So
true passion right there.
And that, yeah, you know, which it sometimes it's hard to keep, especially when you're as busy as we stay over here. So there's definitely a period of like trying to find it back, you know, trying to not necessarily find the love of the animals, but like that drive to be in there every day to push a little bit extra. So, you know, it's not always rainbows and butterflies and sunshine and leprechauns and all that.
Yeah, and I just want to, you know, I just do want to kind of clarify. Like, I may seem like putting stories and shit up is very easy to me, but there's times where I just don't want to fucking do shit. Like, I just don't want to do it. So it is difficult sometimes, bro. Like it is, even, you know, and I'm myself. I'm not trying to act like anyone else. I'm myself, but it is a lot of energy. You do have to like be engaged. You know what I mean? Like it's and listen, I've actually had a taste. Not a full. I mean, I was with you guys for like a couple days, so I had a taste of what Kush and Desiree deal with day to day, and it's really hard to get any content type in, bro. Like it's not easy, bro. Like,
and especially like last year when you were saying I didn't post for a while, that's because I was, you know, 12, 14 hours a day in the rat barn. That's not very fun content, you know. I
oh yeah, here's a try.
You know, I was doing the shipping like exclusively for a while where it was really me and maybe somebody helped me out part of the day on Monday. And then after a while, I was kind of like, you know, I got to go to the barn. We were having some production issues we had to fix. So, you know, Mark and I spent probably like 2-3 months really heavily taking notes, observing what was going on and trying to figure out where our issues were and how to improve. And then once we actually pinpointed it, it took like 6 months to actually fully correct it. So that entire time, I was really spending almost my entire week in the rat barn. So to be able to post reptile content, I mean, literally, I would be coming over here for the sake of posting something. And I wasn't going to do it. Like when I'm putting up stories, I'm cleaning animals, I'm feeding them. Like, I'm not going to a cage being like, all right, I'm doing a story right now. Like I just kind of do it as I'm going, which is just kind of what I've done. So that's like, it's routine for me to do that. But when I was, you know, when I was over at the barn all the time, it just didn't even cross my mind. And
you're just trying to get to your day.
And another thing, like, you know, a lot of pictures I posted are outside. So during the winter, don't really post as much because I don't have any good outside pictures. So that's another reason why this time of year. I found like one spot in here with good lighting. Posted there a few times, but like still.
But I'll tell you what, your guys' shots are all about that crisp daylight shot. Like when it's not too cold and it's like October, right? October, September. Like, I mean, summertime too, right?
Slightly overcast where like you're not getting that direct glare of the sun, but it's still,
morning daylight's the best time. Like I think my homie Kenny was like, hey bro, I was like he's like best time to take your pictures are like 8-9 in the morning. Like if you know if it's a nice day out, you know what I mean? And like, bro, it's you get that, it's like almost like a nice blue light, but it's like an actual natural lighting. And like you really get to see a lot of the snake. You want to see, I pulled some old school stuff up from your, like, look at this. This is so sick. This is from 188 weeks ago. I can't even do the math on that, but that's a long time ago.
That's awesome.
Do you recall what scrub this was?
That was my first scrub. He's right over there. I think he's in shadow. Yeah.
So this is a male.
Yep.
Okay.
Allegedly. It was sold as a male. I haven't gotten a confirmation on the sex yet, but I'm assuming, male. Like Maniquari type, so to speak. Sold as a sarong. So that's what it says about scrub locality, or barneck, I should say. But yeah.
Okay, so let's since we're talking about the locality, like for instance, you're like, oops, sorry, wrong one. So for instance, you're saying, all right, well, this is sold to me as a sarong, but it's a Maniquari. Like, is it just you getting in so many scrubs that made you be able to have an eye for these localities, or are you just researching the localities? Like, how the fuck do you know?
Well, I really think it's almost like a lack of an eye for them, because I've just, I keep really close track of this stuff, and especially, you know, when that's all I was trying to do was buy scrub pythons. Yeah, it's even predates moving here 2 years. So I was looking at all these animals, and I'm like, they're being labeled this, they're being labeled that. I'm being told it's one thing, I'm being told it's another thing. I look it up, and it looks like this. I'm like, you know, who can really say for sure with the Barnecks that the locality data is true? Because, you know, I haven't been to West Papua. I haven't picked anything out of the wild. Like
Not yet.
I couldn't tell you. Not yet. But when we hatched this clutch out last year, and there was like this, it spanned the spectrum of phenotypes for Barnecks. I'm like, well, what the hell? If these were all imports on a list, they would be Manokwari, Jayapura, Sarong, Kofiau, Arfak, like, but they're obviously not all different because they came out of the same clutch. So the way I'm kind of looking at it is, with our pairings that we're doing, if phenotypically the animals line up, cool. They're probably similar. So, but if we can get like for sure locality data clarified Barnecks, that'd be wonderful to be able to breed true locality. I just don't know if anybody can with confidence say that they actually have Manakwaris or Jayapuras or Kofiaus, especially Kofiaus. That's been one of them recently where like that's like the new pitch is it's a Kofiau scrub where you know, I don't know how many true Kofiau scrubs we've seen, and out of this freaking clutch we hatched, there's one that like textbook definition looks identical to a Kofiau scrub, which it obviously isn't. So, you know, it is what it is.
So what's crazy is like I feel like with the locality stuff, like I mean, you think at some point it's just going to become simplified, like especially if these clutches start coming out, like do you think people will start sticking to the localities, or they just generalize that, hey, it's a scrub? Like what I mean, because I mean, I think they are going to get more popular. I feel like a bunch of species are going to get more popular.
Absolutely.
And I feel like you're going to be one who's really going to be the fucking trendsetter for the scrubs. I really do. Nobody has the shit that you have. So but since with that mindset, right, I mean, you're obviously anything you sell, anything you breed, that stamp locality is not going anywhere. You're going to make sure you're breeding specific localities is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I am and I'm not. Like, if there is a Barneck that I can say for certain is a locality type, yeah, I'm going to do my best to breed it to that same locality type. There's a couple in here that, you know, I bought it as one thing. I was told it was another thing. I was told it was a third thing a year later. So I'm over here like, okay, well, who, you know, whose word do I take? And the way I look at it is, you know, this animal doesn't have locality data on it. It is a Barneck that's phenotype represents this locality. So if you breed that with one that looks the same as it, it's probably going to be similar. But there's some locality types that are definitive. Like if you look at it, you know that's what it is. Beox, you can't mistake a Beox scrub. Arus, you can't mistake an Aru scrub. Even the Marukis, the southern types, you know, I'm not sure how wide the collection range is on those, but they all look similar to a degree. You know, the really nice Oxabills, those orange Highlands, they are what they are. It really is just the Barnecks where locality type is still pretty vague, because there's genetic drift within these populations to where it's not like, you know, at the border of Sarong onward, they're no longer banded. Like it's just, there's, you know, it's false. Like there's no way. And like, you know, I see pictures on Facebook of people, you know, posting old Jayapuras that they were breeding. Fucking great. You know, that any scrub breeding is great. But today I feel like that animal would be sold as a Sarong.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, you know, obviously I feel like anybody who's been following our content now knows that those 11 babies are not being sold anywhere.
I know for sure. Especially
let's say that the female produces another clutch sired by the same male this year, and we do sell a couple of them. They'll be labeled, U.S. captive born and bred barneck scrub python. That's it. No locality will be attached to it because I can't attach a locality to them because I don't know, and I'm not going to pretend to guess.
So now there's barnecks with different type of localities for barnecks too, right? Like, or how does it work with the barneck? Because those are my favorite. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean the typical locality type, like the main locality types, you'll see these things labeled. Sarong is the one with the most representation.